Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. How's it going?
Baruch Hashem.
Okay, we have a few things we could talk about. There's Perashat Bemidbar. We're starting a new Sefer. We have Shavuot coming up, so maybe we'll catch that in another video, but we'll focus on Perashat Shavuot for today. And we know that there's the countings in Perashat Bemidbar. And Bnei Israel are counted time and time again. And there's different ways of looking at what the purpose of each counting is and what the purpose of the counting of Bnei Israel in general are. And we'll take just maybe one approach that that our Hachamim take, that the counting of the Jewish people by Borei Olam is a demonstration of love, of care. We count and we keep track of and we monitor and pay specific attention and detail to the things that we really love and we care about and we're invested in. And that is Bnei Israel. And that's why we're called Am Segula. We're like a chosen people. We're a special people. And what does that mean? We're a chosen special people. It does not mean that Borei Olam only loves us and doesn't love the Goyim. That's not the case. We are all Banim LaHashem. But it means that I think, the Jewish people have a certain chosenness to them, which comes with tremendous benefits and comes with tremendous responsibilities that sometimes we live up to. Sometimes, Am Yisrael, we may not live up to the level that we have, and that's to our detriment. But the responsibility and the chosenness is a tremendous zechut. And I was just reading something so interesting. There was a scholastic philosopher Christian that was traveling all over Europe in the 1200s, and he comes across the Jewish communities there, and he analyzed it, and he writes the following. He says,
"Where do you remember where?"
This is in Europe. He was in Europe. Yeah, he was in Europe. I think he ends up around the area of France and so on. And he looks at the Jewish community over there, and he says. And he writes, we have his writings, and he says, the Jewish people are unlike any other nation in their study of Torah. So he proceeds to explain that the love that the Jewish people have for Torah is lishma and unique to his personal religion. He says, how so? Because when a person becomes a pastor, priest, or whatever it is, and now has separated from the community, now that family supports, that child, let's say, going into that field. Why? Because first of all, it gives them a tremendous amount of influence.
Yes.
And all of the inheritance that person would have gotten doesn't go to his kids because they don't have kids.
Correct.
So who does it go to? It goes to the brothers. So if a family, let's say a wealthy family, the brothers, they see that one of the brothers is inclined to go in, to dedicate themselves to the religion. They have an agenda to push that brother in the direction of, priesthood or whatever it is, because that benefits them tremendously, And he's talking about himself. He's talking about his people. And he says, but the Jewish people, you'll see that a father will encourage all of his children to go and study Torah. For what benefit? For what reason? Why are they going and studying Torah? Is it selfish? There's no selfish benefit over here. The idea of the people, of the kids being encouraged to study Torah to such an extent is an unbelievable thing. It's very unique. The investment in education that the Jewish people have is something that you cannot compare to anything else. And as we approach Shavuot and we look at it through the lens of Bemidbar, that we're chosen, say why we're chosen. This may be the number one reason why we're chosen. Because of the dedication that we have to Limud Torah, to investing that in our children, and that leading up to Shavuot makes Shavuot, it helps us appreciate the uniqueness of the holiday so much more. But this is who we are. Yeah.
Saadia Gaon says that Am Yisrael is only nikar betorato.
It's not a genetic thing.
No.
It's not a genetic thing. We don't believe. I mean, there are opinions that are such, but for the most part, I think we follow Rabbeinu Saadia Gaon in that we don't have a genetic advantage necessarily.
Correct.
to the other nations. No, it's our education that we instill.
Our Torah.
And that means that if we don't instill that Torah, that we're tremendously losing out. That it's a responsibility of every generation to perpetuate that teaching and that Torah that we have, which brings a whole new, it gives a seriousness to the holiday of Shavuot and the accepting upon the Torah that we have.
It's a responsibility.
Big responsibility. Yeah. And staying up all night is a demonstration of, it's like we're showing, we take this seriously.
Yes.
You know, we're not going to delay this. We're not going to, you know, pretend like this isn't a serious commitment. No, this is a very serious commitment that we have and a big responsibility that we have.
I read a story about Maran, Rabbi Yosef Karo, how one Shavuot night it got all together, obviously like the custom is, and they were doing it with such diligence and just passion and love, and they actually had, he writes it over there, I believe it's either Magid Mesharim or in a different place. He says they got a Gilui of Shekhinah, and the Shekhinah told them that if you do this again the next night...
This was the first time that they had the mamash, the tikkun.
Yes.
The first year, yeah.
If you do it again another night, you'll really get to levels that you never expected before. And they didn't have to, because in Eretz Israel, only have one night Shavuot.
Right.
But he said that, sure enough, he got a following to do it the next night also.
Wow. In a row. Wow.
Yeah, just to show their love to the Torah. I mean, no other reason. Why would anybody else? Yeah. Why would you stay up the whole night? Just to show you dedication and love to the Torah. And they reached levels they said they never experienced before. The Al-Sheikh, I think, was with them in Bishlomo Al-Kabet.
That crew of Rabbanim at the time was legendary.
Just to show their love and dedication to the Torah. Halevai.
Bezrat Hashem, Sheniskeh, to live up to the Sigula of us as a people, and to understand what our uniqueness is, and what separates us from the other nations is that we're the role models, not only in the content of our Torah, but also in our approach.
Yes.
That the Torah is not something that we study because that puts us ahead and it gives us a financial gain or a status gain. It's because that is our responsibility as a Jewish people to perpetuate and keep. That is that's who we are. We are the keepers of the Torah.
Shabbat shalom.